Hello and welcome back to my Desynced tutorial series. Today we start off with this Deconstructor robot futilely attempting to deconstruct this metal bar production building. Let's take a look at this really common error and why it's occurring and how to fix it correctly. Our first clue is that our code continues to execute and this little progress bar almost barely finishes. And just before it finishes, it starts over again. And we can see that it's attempting to reset it too quickly. Let's take a look at the current incorrect code. It looks pretty standard. We have a program start. We then null out the value that we're looking for just to make sure that we're starting correctly. That doesn't affect the component. We then loop over all the signals that might match. We find the closest one. We store that into the P1. And then we tell our deconstructor to go ahead and deconstruct it. Well, what is it that we're doing wrong here? We can fix it, well, incorrectly fix it, by adding just await ticks here. And I'm just going to add 1 tick of time just to get started. Let's see how that goes. Not quite enough. We're still spinning. So I'm going to stop. And notice that by stopping the behavior, it successfully finished that execution. That's also a symptom of a problem. Well, let's crank it up to 20 ticks. Try again. Fantastic. It's finishing, but now I have this extra bit of delay in my code that I don't want. Now, what I could do is go ahead and modify my amount of waiting up and down until I get the right value. But that's really a hack approach to it. So instead what I want to do is have something that's guaranteed to respond correctly. So instead of a wait, what I'm going to do is use a match to check that I'm still actually looking at a valid unit. To do that, my match is going to filter for buildings. And as long as it's still a building, it will loop over that and continue in here. Once this is no longer a building, because this is now pointing to something that has been deconstructed, it'll pop out of the failed and it'll continue on its way to the next thing to deconstruct. So let's mark all these buildings for deconstruction. I use the information signal down arrow to indicate deconstruction, but you can pick any signal you'd like. Now these are all marked. Well, let's see. As soon as it ends, it begins searching through the next set of buildings to match against. And so this, I would argue, is the correct way to figure out when your deconstruction has happened. And lastly, a quick tour through the pseudocode. We're again going to start by nulling out P1, looping A over the signal match down arrow using a SelectNearest. Then we're going to set that component. This is going to take care of all the movement, all of the other aspects of the behavior that we need. And then instead of a wait, we're just going to do a while match pass. I hope this short video has been helpful to you. Have a great day.